Well, good morning, everyone. It was mostly clear overnight, but now there are quite a few clouds in the sky. And I have a subject I'd like to photograph this morning, but with the clouds, that's not going to happen. So I'm debating my options. It could be I just set aside that subject for next year, which is a good plan. There are two other subjects within the canyon that also I'm sitting on for next year. But another thing I could do, because this subject is about halfway between where I was camping last night and where I'm parked at the trailhead. So what I could do is I could hike back to my truck, relax a little bit, and maybe drive around a little later today, but then return to the trailhead, then hike back to the subject. It's not really that much different than, if I was hiking to that subject from camp and back. So we'll see. But there's definitely a lot of clouds in the sky, and when there's clouds, the light is very, very flat. So not really good for canyon photography, but we'll see what happens. Well, it is right around noon, and I started the hike out of the canyon at 6:30 in the morning, and about an hour into the hiking is when I reached the subject that I was hoping to photograph today. But at that point in time, there was a lot of clouds in the sky, and if there's clouds in the morning, it usually means that those clouds are going to really keep continuing to build as the afternoon progresses. So the light was not great when I reached the subject, but I also got there at about 7:30, and my window of light was about 9:30. So I kept hiking because my weather forecast on my Garmin InReach Mini said, and it's a satellite messenger, so I can get weather forecasts off in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of nice. But the weather forecast said partially cloudy today and then sunny tomorrow. So as I hiked the rest of the way back to my truck, another 2 hours beyond that point, by then it was sunny. So if I'd stayed on that scene, I would have had good light on it, but I gotta say, I'm a little worn out after all of the hiking over the past few days. So even though I knew that I could probably stick around and have good light, it was more appealing to get back to my truck and just relax a little bit. And I think what I'm gonna do tomorrow, because the forecast for tomorrow says sunny skies, I'll drive back to the trailhead, and I'll hike the 2 hours down to where that subject is, but this time without all the backpacking gear, and then see about photographing that scene and hike back out. So no backpacking, just a long day hike. But right now the skies are blue along with some clouds. They're starting to build up because it was cloudy this morning. It got a bit more sunny, but now it's getting cloudy again. And so I'm definitely pretty worn out after all the hiking. The first full day down in there, I had about 39,000 steps, which is a lot. So just enjoying the shade here for now.
May 18th, 2024, 6:09 p.m. There's an aspect of working with large format that plays a tremendous role in my experience in the field. It's the uncertainty of the process. I exposed 6 sheets of film while on the backpacking trip. And from my own perspective, each and every one of them is a failure. Perhaps a bad exposure, a flawed composition. I tend to write off the images I've taken, which pushes me harder to keep finding more subjects. If I knew I already had good work from this trip, would I spend 4 hours hiking back to the same canyon tomorrow? Not likely. And while this does take away from my experience in the field, I often look back on these trips fondly, amazed at the range of images I was able to produce in such short time. I write this now from the back of my Forerunner as evening approaches. Clouds built throughout the day, and now the sky is awash in the hazy remnants of the afternoon clouds. Blue sky is on the horizon, and soon the sky will be clear. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
All right, so that was 2 seconds, f45. Really beautiful reflected light right now. The sun is hitting the canyon wall back behind the video camera, sending some warm light into the scene. And I just love these 3 shrubs here. And then the little alcove back behind them that's catching a little bit of light there. So that is 7 sheets of film, 7 subjects, and we'll see if I find anything on the way out.
My photograph that morning is among my favorites from the trip, and if not for the uncertainty of working with large format, I would have returned to photograph it. I love the color contrast between the green leaves and the orange sandstone, the odd number of branches, and how they're set against the triangular alcove. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you around next time. You may have noticed this video has no ads and no sponsors, and I think it's nicer that way. If you enjoy this ad-free and clickbait-free content and want to help me live my dream, a voluntary contribution through PayPal or by joining my Patreon helps keep my gas tank full and my film freezer stocked. You can find more information by visiting my website at benhorne.com/donate. I also have prints, ebooks, and my annual portfolio is available on my website. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.